check one. There we go. Holy hell. I should get an award if I can start a show with the right mic plugged in. That would be a miracle from above if that happened. G'day there. Welcome to the RaeSide. Absolute insanity. Another day, another crazy start to a stream. But we're here. Hello. Thank you for waiting so patiently. I really appreciate it. I promise to give you a good show today. Dennis is back. Subby in the chat. Master DB. Corey Duck Jedi. Love it. Good to see you. Skywalker's Academy as well. Let me just take a breath and a sip. How we're doing? How we're doing, chat? Celebration Live Rewind continues this week. We're into 2013. Celebration Europe. Can't beat sparkling water, man. So good. We're into Celebration Europe. Hey, Yava. How you doing, Ledge? 2013, the year after, obviously, the last celebration we watched. Let me put it on the screen for you all. Last week, we started with Celebration 6, so this is obviously Celebration 7. This is a really interesting one. Was this the first time I went to Europe? Perhaps. But last week we had such a ball of a time, didn't we? Well, at least I did. It was very, very funny. We found so many gems of information. We had such a great time looking through everything. And so we've got to be back for more. And we're going to be doing this every Monday night for the next few weeks, creeping up, like I said, that week-to-week schedule, week-to-week celebration until Celebration Japan is right around the corner. So I'm so excited you're here. Rossi in the chat. Yes, coming in with the $1.50. No. Sticker. Thank you so much. Hey, Nolan. How you doing? Yeah. Smoko, mate. So good. IG Kevin back for more. So good. Amazing, Corey. How was it? Put your review in the chat. Would love to hear. But like I said, we're going through these celebration videos. It's so fun. I feel like I'm learning so much. From just like there's like a lot of the clips I have seen, but some of them I haven't. So I'm keen to get into it today. I think we should jump straight. Oh, where'd it go? Where'd I put it? There we go. I think we're gonna jump straight in. We stop all the time. Oh my gosh, you guys are so generous today. Duck Jedi coming in with a 99-cent, an Australian. Is it Australian dollars? Oh my god, shout out Australians. I wore this just for you. I was low-key hoping you would be here. Hang on. I was low-key hoping you would be here. Look at that. Look at it. The best thing about this shirt is that there is images of Jar Jar here that aren't even in the movie. Which one is it? The one with him and the spear, that wasn't in the movie. I can't tell what that's from either. But yes, just from you. Oh my god, amazing. It's such a rarity to come across like Australian Star Wars fans. Speaking of Australian Star Wars fans, hey Indy, how you doing? Also, I never replied to you. I mentally took it, but there was a lot happening when you asked me. The hat's on its way. Hat's on its way. Just an FYI. All right, let's get into it, gang. Let's get into it. I'm ready. Because we stop and start the whole way through. So I'm ready to find out more about Star Wars Celebration. Star Wars Celebration Europe 2013. So this is the first year that Disney is in charge. And we're in that realm. And we're starting to get, all those Disney changes, Disney movements. Why have I gone dark all of a sudden? There we go. Can you see me now? First year of Disney's ownership of Star Wars. Very intense. Lots happening. So we're going to get into it. We're going to see what's happening. Again, these videos aren't super linear, I think. And there's also one video from Celebration Europe 2007. So just add that to the list in there. But again, there's some cool interviews in here. A lot of Warwick, which is awesome. Dave Filoni, I can't wait for that one. These clips are a little bit longer, and as well, Carrie Fisher interview, which I can't wait to watch as well. So let's get into it. Let's see how many times I get copyright strike from playing the Star Wars theme song. Let's go. Let's go. Trying.
In Germany, or as they say, meine Damen und Herren, herzlich willkommen bei Star Wars Celebration. Look at the crowd here. Are there any Star Wars fans here?
Wow.
Where are you from?
I'm from Pennsylvania.
You're from Pennsylvania? Came all the way from Pennsylvania?
No, actually, we live in Germany as well.
Oh, you do? Where are you guys from? Scotland. Yeah. So we're just outside waiting to get in, and already you have Anthony Daniels, C-3PO himself, right over here entertaining the fans while they're waiting in line to get in.
That's so cool.
How are you this morning?
I'm fine, except there is no air conditioning.
Is stream lagging? Is stream lagging at all? Let me know in the chat. Is the stream lagging? Is it lagging for anyone else? That's a great question. Yeah, lagging. It's not you. The video is okay. Yeah, why is the FPS dropping right now? Hang on. Let me do a speed test. See what's going down. Okay, we got 50 down. So I'm not liking where the video is, but why would it not be all? Why would it not be me both? Oh yeah, my upload's pretty tense right now. What am I torrenting like 50 things right now? What's happening? Let me try close everything. See if that helps. Encoder difference, dude. You want me to know what that means? Let me just do it in 720. Maybe that'll be better or something. I don't know. It's a good Jar Jar shirt. Maybe I should do a Jar Jar shirt giveaway. That would be amazing. Okay, let's see about this.
Outside in Germany, it's all inside. Do you realize that?
Yeah, we should have called somebody about it.
We really should. I don't know. But inside,
dude.
people are going to have a cool experience in every sense of the word. The floor.
How are we doing? Is that better? Is that any better? Was that any smoother for everyone? Oh, life, hey. This seems better? Okay. Good.
Now open. Be careful, I just saw Boba Fett around here somewhere.
Oh my god.
And where are you from? England. So you came all this way to come today just for the day?
There's so much to break down with these outfits. The bear? What's that about? You got me, Corey. Oh.
Weekend? We're on a honeymoon. You're on your honeymoon. They're on.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah.
On their honeymoon at Star Wars Celebration.
That's awesome.
So,
What am I looking at?
Things didn't quite go as I planned here on the show floor. Looks like I got captured by a snowtrooper and a Viking trooper.
what are you looking forward to the most?
Finding my X-Wing. Killing Imperials.
Killing Imperials and finding the X-Wing. Never breaking character at Star Wars Celebration. Wow. That is very impressive, I must say.
Is this to scale?
I am here with Captain Solo and Princess Leia Organa. Where are you from? We're from
It's
England.
weird. Oh, that's not the vibe. I don't know.
From England, and what are you looking forward to the most at Celebration?
Everything.
Everything.
Good answer.
anything you can imagine, you can build with Legos here in the
Look at that like OG like 2000s Lego like packaging with the green. Oh, so good. I loved that. I loved that.
kids pavilion. Some of these Legos are pretty complicated. I hear some breathing over my shoulder.
Oh, dude, these cringe jokes are to be a bit too much.
Look at all this crazy merchandise. We've got little baby Ewoks, some great bags, and even a Death Star football. Hey,
That's actually
all
pretty
right.
cool. Is that a real person? What the hell is that? Oh.
All across the show floor at Star Wars Celebration, you will see fan-built everything. Costumes, weapons, vehicles, and even, as you can see here, a very, very big Imperial Walker. Check it out.
You too, yeah. I hope you're doing well, man.
Well, that's a wrap for day one of Star Wars Celebration Europe. We have seen so much, and yet we have barely scratched the surface.
Let's go to the next one. Ground report day 2. Here we go.
Hello, Star Wars fans. Once again, we're here at Star Wars Celebration Europe, the biggest Star Wars party anywhere in the...
Wee! CG coming in with a $5 reduce. Happy Monday from Alabama. What a miss. Watching from the gym. What fun. Oh, man. On that grind, CG. Love it. We're diving into Star Wars Celebration Europe 2013 and checking out all the interviews from this celebration. The most important interview that's in this one is that there was a Carrie Fisher interview from this year and from the celebration, which I'm very excited, which is coming up. So that's what we're doing. So much is happening, but I'm glad you're here. And thank you so much for the soupy, man. Appreciate it. Much love. Much love. Hey, Nathan, how you doing? Yeah, that Wampa was really something, wasn't it? Yeah, well, these are just like the ground reports. The interview clips are like a little later. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's keep going. This is day 2.
Today is day 2. You guys Star Wars fans? Yeah! All right. We're going to have an amazing time inside. We're going to head in and see what day 2 has to offer. Come on, let's go. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy than you will here at Star Wars Celebration. We're at a fan-built Mos Eisley Cantina set where you can come here and decide for yourself who shot first. Of course, I already think I know.
Oh, imagine, guys, okay, we're at Retro Obi-Wan. Imagine if we see that chested up 3PO again. Imagine if they like took it to every celebration. Imagine if that 3PO is in Japan. Dude, so much possibility.
We're here with Steve Sansweet from Rancho Obi-Wan, right in time for the 30th anniversary of Return of the Jedi.
Absolutely.
Are you going to put this on? Is that what I'm sensing that's going to happen here? Is this for you to wear? Steve Sansweet as Admiral Akbar? Anybody want to see Steve as Admiral Akbar?
It's a trap.
That's a trap.
Iconic.
Oh.
Steve Sansweet as I always pictured him, right here.
Hey, wow, what a compliment. Yo. Glop shit
as I always pictured him, right here.
Yes! Now that's a cosplay that I needed to see. That's the cosplay I wanted. The Rancor Keeper and a Rancor. This is what Star Wars Celebration is all about. This is what it's all about. Oh, good Lord.
So, I'm here with Lord Vader, the Dark Lord of the Sith, pilot of this TIE fighter.
Oh, this guy is
It's
cringing
kind
me.
of hot up there, does it? You get a little bored on long trips up there in that little ball? Okay, good. You mind if we take it for a spin one of these days? No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you angry. No, please, no.
Wow. is such a good jabber. Wow. Hey, Quinlan, how you doing? Good to see ya. Oh boy, oh boy.
Here we are inside another fan-built set piece, this time inside the sacred halls of the classic ship, the Millennium Falcon, where you can come here at Star Wars Celebration to relive all of those classic moments with Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, C-3PO, R2-D2, and of course, Chewbacca. And as we all learned, it's not wise to upset a Wookiee. God, this is so much fun. But don't take
I love how the crowd is just having to sit there and wait for this guy to finish this bit.
my word for it. You guys ready to come inside?
They're like, we've been waiting for you to film this damn thing. Wow. Dude, that was a sick shot. Look at them all. Look at them all. The Wampa in the background. Oh, man. That is so good. Look at that Wampa. Trying to get in that group photo. Oh, dude. So good. Yeah, this is nuts. Get the crap out of me. 20 years he stayed up there. Wait, what are you talking about? What do you want about Rossi? Yeah, they do. Look at that. Like, look at this one shot. That's incredible. Like, that's easily like an 8-foot Wampa right there. like this one shot is actually goes crazy. So good.
Whoa. We are here at the booth of the 501st Legion, which is the biggest costuming Star Wars fan organization in the world, with garrisons literally in every country. With thousands of members all over the world, they raise thousands of dollars for charity by appearing at different events, by performing at different events. Boy, I need to start working on my Stormtrooper mask, huh? What are you looking at? We're here with members of the Swiss garrison of the 501st. Have you made a lot of friends by becoming members of the 501st? You meet a lot of new...
When did I miss it? When? Did I skip it? Where is it? Where are you talking about this? Dude, I can't even see it. Where? You were scared of Jar Jar as a child? That's crazy. Jar Jar's like so fun.
People?
Yes, I have many friends of the world. I know many people from Dutch, from German, from Italy, from French, Australia.
So that's a wrap on day 2 of Star Wars Celebration Europe. We've seen so many great things and spent some incredible...
Look at that Tuscan. Why are these videos so memey? Why are the people in them so memey? So good.
Time here with the French garrison of the 501st Legion. But tomorrow, we still have a lot left in store, including the closing ceremonies. You're not going to want to miss it. Until then, this is David Collins for StarWars.com saying, ooh-ah.
Ooh-ah?
I told Panda Baba.
Like, the stills from these videos are just unbeatable. What the hell is that?
Said, look, and you keep talking to people like that, you're going to lose an arm or some kind of limb or something, you know? I don't know. Are you even listening to me?
All right, day 3. And then we're going to get into the actual juicy content.
Celebration art show where dozens of artists are showing off their new pieces. Incredible different styles, all very new and unique. My walls are feeling a little empty, so I need to pick up some Star Wars art. But right now, I'm going to take a little time to look at all there is to offer here.
Why did he say that with such, like, poise of being like, for now, ooh-ah? Like, what? What does that mean? What does that mean? So good. Chicken, how you doing? Yeah, it got me by surprise, that. Okay, what are we doing? Art show.
Check it out.
Look at that.
Look at that, points to the one single photo of Slave
showing
Leia.
off their new pieces. Incredible different styles, all very new and unique. My walls are feeling a little empty, so I need to pick up some Star Wars art. But right now, I'm going to take a little time to look at all there is to offer here. Come on, check it out. Look at that.
All there is to offer here. Slightly naked Carrie Fisher. Dude, yeah, could you be more obvious? Could you be more obvious? Oh, what a guy. All right.
Artist Brian Rude. Brian, tell us a little bit about your Boba Fett here.
Well, I did the Boba Fett painting. I wanted everybody to see Boba Fett in a different light. A bit of a reflective moment. Here he is back on his home planet of Kamino, and the fun part was being able to take the helmet off and let everybody see the man behind the mask. Since we all know what he looks like when he grows up being the clone, I thought it'd be an interesting piece to do for this event.
That's cool.
Hi. Greetings from Luxembourg.
There's something for everyone of all ages at Star Wars Celebration, and we're here at the Tattoo Pavilion with the author of The Force in the Flesh, Shane Turgeon. How you doing, Shane?
Good, my man. How are you?
I'm doing well. Now, how many tattoos do you think you'll do in 3 days?
You know, these guys were booked solid all day yesterday, and if they continue doing it that way,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
you
cool.
say an average of, 1 to maybe
cool.
5 for each artist. We got 17 artists. We'll probably do like 50, 60 tattoos all over the weekend.
And about how long does each tattoo take, or does it depend?
It depends on what it is. Some of the artists have really big pieces that they're working on, and they'll just work on that for 6 hours in the whole day. And then some other artists will just do really small ones, and they can bang out maybe 5 or 6 in a day.
A lot of interesting characters, Star Wars characters?
Always, that's the great thing about Star Wars is it's so visual. There's so many cool characters to choose from, so everybody's got something good going on.
Right on, man. It's good to see you again. All right. On to the next thing. We're here in the Autograph Pavilion, where you have unprecedented access to all kinds of stars of Star Wars, including this guy, Mark Hamill, back here.
Wow. I wonder what was his last celebration.
My Gucci magic on it.
I'm here with legendary sound designer Ben Burt, who's been there since the very beginning. Ben, what is it like to come out here to Celebration and connect with Star Wars fans?
I never would have thought, basically 40 years ago that we did this movie that I'd be still talking about it.
If you look up sound designer in the dictionary, it's this guy. I'm here with Tim Rose, Admiral Akbar himself, an animatronics designer and puppeteer. How you doing, Tim?
Oh, I'm doing good.
We are surrounded by astromech droids here at the Droid Builders Pavilion at Star Wars Celebration Europe. We're here with Stuart. How long have you been a droid builder, Stuart?
About 4 years now.
And you're controlling R2-D2 here with this right here.
Yes, I am. It's a basic build. This one is just dome rotation, operated with standard radar control equipment from helicopters.
Mr. D2, how is Celebration treating you so far? No? A lot of strange creatures around here, huh, pal? No, hey, don't talk about her like that. She's a friend of mine.
I know, I was about to say that. It's like it's so sad. Well, good, happy, and sad to see all the different, Peter Mayhew, Kenny Baker, who aren't with us anymore. And a little later on, Carrie Fisher as well. Seriously, are they right? It's cool that they got to experience this at some point.
Que la forza avec vous.
Möge die Macht mit dir sein.
Que la forza sia con voi.
Que la force soit avec toi.
May the force be with you.
Day 3 of Star Wars Celebration Europe has come to a close, and it's amazing to think about all the incredible things we've seen and experienced over the past 3 days. Everything to express our love of Star Wars. And while we're kind of sad that it's over, it's exciting to think about the future of Star Wars.
All right, let's get into Carrie stuff. I wanna see her.
It's a little short for a stormtrooper. Somebody get this big walking carpet out of my way.
No reward is worth this.
That was my dog, Gary. For this
Oh,
weekend, you've never
Gary!
seen the ocean,
Rest in
sand,
peace.
or a huge audience of Star Wars fans. So those are really 3 things everyone should experience, yes?
It's like the most wonderful thing you could ever ask for as a fan.
Little girl looked at me. She said, "You look so grown up." It's been a lot of fun today. This is the most signing I think I've ever done.
You have the possibility of being a Jedi then too. I mean, you ever really think about that?
Not the possibility. I am a
You
Jedi.
are a Jedi. That's right.
Into the garbage, fly boy.
Is Luke or Han a better kisser?
Good question. Good question.
My favorite thing was they did ask me if I wanted a double for strangling Jabba.
Yeah.
I so didn't. That was very
remember that
pleasant
scene.
for me.
Some of these words you can't say. A human being cannot say that, even a
I
droid.
have placed information vital to the survival of the rebellion in the memory systems of this R2 unit.
Cool.
The ion cannon will fire several shots to
The
make
ion cannon will fire several blasts. What is an ion cannon?
I know.
I had a guy say to me, "Oh my God, I thought about you every day from when I was 12 to when I was 22." And I said, "Every day?"
This is purely just like a hype remix of all these clips of Carrie Fisher. But yes, I think a lot of the panels James Arnold Taylor did interviews. I think that happened a few times at a few celebrations. So cool. So cool. Words with Warwick. Let's do it. Okay, so this is Mark Hamill now. Okay, let's skip a little.
I'm here with Mark Hamill backstage at Celebration Europe. We just come from your show. It was fantastic. One thing I didn't ask you out there. Well, this year we celebrate the 30th anniversary of Return of the Jedi.
Correct.
A film that I was involved with as well. It's where I first met you.
Right.
What memories have you got of the film and me? And then I'll tell you a memory I have of you.
All right. I remember thinking that a certain creeping cynicism had infected the principal actors, in the sense that, you know, oh gosh, it's the third and final piece. Let's get on with it and get it over with. Which, you know, I mean, I'm sort of I didn't want to be the, you know, like the pep squad leader, but you know, it was hard to go say, come on, guys, you know, let's get into it. It's so last hurrah. And sitting outside a soundstage, whizzing at us with amazing skill, was this young boy who was just incredibly skilled on these roller skates, just flying along like a superhero or something. Oh my God, who's that? You know, well, that's the guy who's going to play the Ewok. He's going to play Wicket. And I said, he looks like he's a baby. He looks like he's 6 years old or something. No, he's grown up. He's like 10 or 11.
That's right, yeah.
But what I thought was so great about it was the first time that we had someone who was a fan originally, who now was part of the family, which was a breath of fresh air in a way. And it was very hard for all the grown-ups to be so jaded around somebody that was just so full of just beaming with enthusiasm
I was
and
so
joy.
excited to be there.
Oh my gosh. And yeah, I mean, it was just wonderful. And you were just so funny. And we just all loved you so
Do you
much.
remember that you said to me, do you collect Star Wars toys? And I said, yeah, I do have a few. And he said, well, write down the things that you haven't got, the things that you might want, and I'll see what I can do. Well, I remember, rather embarrassing.
Mike does not remember that at all.
Sheets of paper full of all these things. I gave you this whole list. My mum was horrified that I'd done this. She said, you should have just written a couple of things. But anyway, I gave you the list. You only came with everything I had written. And I still have it to this day. The Millennium Falcon, like about 8 Stormtrooper figures.
He does not remember this in the slightest. I love that. But that is super nice, though.
Because I wanted a whole Legion. I had the carrying case for the figures, the Darth Vader carrying. I mean, it's brilliant. So thank you.
Of course. Now, see, that to me is really meaningful. Really care about the, you know, whenever you start getting grumpy about, oh, it's hot in here and I'm uncomfortable. You have to remember who you're doing it for and what the end product is going to be like, you know. And I was someone who could totally relate to you in the sense that, like, I was him at that age. I was a huge fan. It would be like someone saying, you're going to be in the next Ray Harryhausen film. You're going to be in the sequel to, Clash of the Titans or something like that. I wouldn't have believed it. And I used to go over the famous monster and think, boy, if I were rich, I'd get the Frankenstein. I'd make lists of what I want if I had all the money in the world. And it was just a fantasy. I mean, I could never have it. And so it's funny. My son, Nathan, was born when we were doing Empire in St. John's Wood at Avenue Clinic. And he, it was in his DNA to be a fan because I'm his dad, and he was on set and he loved the Muppets, and we did the Muppet Show, and Frank Oz did Yoda. There was that connection with them. The joy of getting a box, in a big brown box with the Kenner. That was one of his first words as a toddler. He go, Kenner.
Really?
when he was still in diapers, he couldn't recognize mom, dad, but boy, he knew Kenner. And I used to tell them,
That's so
cool.
cool.
You're very lucky because not most of the kids at your school can't have all these toys. It's too expensive. We're just really, really, really lucky that we're on a comp list.
So, Mark, thank you for joining us here at Celebration Europe and also here online at StarWars.com. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Warren.
Oh, that was awesome. That was so wholesome. So good. So good. All right. Next is the Carrie Fisher one. I cannot wait for. I think this is a proper interview, similar to the other one. But before we get into it, grab a snack, grab a drink, and we'll get into it in a second. Stay right there. I'll be back. Oh my God, Will. Hello, everyone. Everyone came in while I was gone. Hilarious. Hey, Jess. Will's here. Mike is looking at the Muppet shows where go if I had a time machine. Yeah, that was peak. Can't get any better. Got it, Nolan. Dennis has got it too. Mike talks about his son. Sometimes I always forget that he's married. Me too. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, he has like a family. That's so crazy. Yeah, these fun? Are these fun? I'm having such a good time. I'm so excited. I might cry, but Carrie Fisher interview, let's go. Let's go.
Celebration Europe, this time with Carrie Fisher. And we've just been on stage together and had a fun time, or from my perspective. It was
I had a horrible time.
Did you?
No, it was.
Oh, she's so good.
And we've just been on stage together and had a fun time, or from my perspective. It was
I had a horrible time.
Did you?
Oh, she's so good. Oh my God. She's so wonderful of a person. She's so funny. She's so wholesome. Shit, I love her.
No, it was great for me.
It was
How
good,
was
wasn't
it
it?
for you? No, it was.
Really, yeah.
Are you going to be able to show our little reenactment?
I don't know. Maybe they can clip this into this little interview.
I think that they
Absolutely.
should.
Oh my God. Why is she wearing a Batman hat? Oh my God.
Oh, I'm not. Look, I'm not going to hurt you. I only have clothes to hit you with.
Wow.
And I thought it was a very accurate.
That's
I
unreal.
laid down on the ground. I wore the hat. Well, not the hat, but a hat. You wore the ridiculous whatever that was.
Did, and we hid behind the log
That's
or
right.
the couch in this case.
That's right. I think we're going to start doing that all over the world. We're going to take it on tour.
Tour it, and then we could sell your book off the back of it as well.
We'll make up a song with it and everything.
So we're celebrating the 30th anniversary of Return of the Jedi this year. What are your real thoughts about the gold bikini? Because it is something that's a burning question for many people.
I wish that I still looked good enough to wear it. And in another sense, I'm glad that I don't have to wear it anymore. It was just, look at it. It's not actual clothing. I mean, there's nothing on the sides. And I was very happy that when I wore it the day that we worked on the Sarlacc sea.
Oh, yeah, the Sarlacc bit there, yeah.
Well, I had a double, and she had that on. And I was so happy that someone else, that I had a peer that could wear another cement bathing suit.
Absolutely. Now, what were your thoughts when you first read the script for Return of the Jedi and found out that Luke indeed was your brother?
You know, honestly, I just have the worst memory in the world. But I do remember, however I found out, and I don't think it was in the script. I think I was told voce a voce. So I think I was told. And I remember being suspicious. Like, did they think of that now? Or, you know, I got very involved in that. Wait a minute. What about when I kissed him in that room with the medical robot in the water?
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I got involved with. Not
Did they know then, sort of thing?
Yeah. Why would you have me kiss my brother that way? You know. Yeah. So that's how I got involved in it.
Yes, and you totally got immersed in those things.
Yeah, thinking back on what it would affect and what it had affected.
And when you finished Return of the Jedi, obviously at that point you'd made 3 Star Wars films. Were you ready to finish, or would you have liked to have gone on?
No, I could have gone on because it was fun. It was like a crew of people. We'd had this really particular experience. I mean, and I was the only girl in an all-boy fantasy, you know. And so it was a good gig to have. And I was sorry to see it go. The last day when we were shooting up in Endor, which was at Crescent City, the crew was drinking. I woke up with somebody who drunk NyQuil and had green lips. So that's how it went out for me.
That was a good rap party, that one, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And on that bombshell, it's been a pleasure talking to you, Carrie. Ladies and gentlemen, Carrie Fisher. Thank you very much.
Wow. The Five Fetts. So much is in this. This is so cool. I've never seen anything.
They're growing.
Yes. Unreal.
We have Jeremy Bullock, Daniel Logan, Dickie Beard, John Morton, and Tamara Morrison.
Good work.
Guys, how are you all?
Very well, thank you. Quite exhausted, but nice exhausted.
Yes, absolutely. So Boba Fett, one of the most popular characters in the Star Wars galaxy. Why do you think that is? What is the secret of his popularity?
Well, I think that the secret is that when you look at the costume, you put that on, you don't have to do anything. Really, I mean, that's it. Look.
Hang on.
Who's that? In the first days I had, they said, wow, what was that? And there's so much stuff all over him. There's gadgets and bits and pieces. So kids want to know more about it. So hence the toys that are sold around the world.
So it's about the mystery there.
The mystery behind him, plus the way he is. He just stands. And I remember one day's filming, I stood still all day long doing absolutely nothing. And he got the odd bit. That was fantastic. What? Lovely. I didn't move. I just stood there waiting for a break. Really.
So less is more.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
good.
Less is more, mysterious and stillness.
Yeah.
And I think we're coming off the end of Jeremy's. You know, he set all that up for us. You know, us new guys,
He did, didn't
especially.
he?
So he kind of his mysterious, still acting kind of.
Yeah. So what do you like to call Jeremy? You've got a name for Jeremy, haven't you?
Well, coming into this, I was 13 years old, so I was more of the baby fat at the time, you know. And Jeremy, you know, calls me Baby Boba, and I call him Grandpa Fett. It was kind of a running joke, you know, we had since Celebration 2. And
that was fun.
we're all family. I mean, we're all family. It's this Fett family, you know, and it really is. So,
And not forgetting the guys, John and young Dickie here, they've joined
Young
in
Dickie.
the past. No, but without, I mean, I was in the theatre at the time, so I had to dash off to get to a play, and John luckily stood in for me to
And a
do
couple
the
of scenes in Empire Strikes Back.
Yes,
one of the scenes,
yeah.
yeah.
but another thing, going back to what makes him so popular, I think this was a new character. This was Boba Fett. I mean, you have Darth Vader, you have Ewoks and whatnot, but you have this new guy that's got, as he said, all these gadgets, but then you have that firing
What
pattern.
do you mean Ewoks and whatnot?
Well, Ewoks, I would cuddle with an Ewok.
You would?
But I wouldn't want to cuddle with Boba Fett.
I
mean,
wouldn't cuddle him because his jetpack might go off.
That's what I'm saying.
That's dangerous. Okay, looking at the costume now, we can see the helmet there that Jeremy's got. You know, this guy's an in-demand bounty hunter. Why did he choose to have an outfit where you can just see through a tiny slit?
Well, I think he can see through beyond that. He'll tell people I can't see very well, but he's better than that.
Oh, it's a trick.
It's a trick.
So what has he got inside?
Well, he's got
Some sort
this.
of
Do you know what
monitors?
this does?
What does
this
that
is
do,
for?
Jeremy?
You pull this down.
Yes.
Click. These red lights will flick on and off. Oh, I know an awful lot about it, don't I?
Yeah, okay.
And it flicks on and off, and that he can lock onto 30 different spaceships. So there'd be Slave 1, and he also has Slave 2, 3, and 4. So they told me, but you can make it up as well.
Love that.
That's what it is. He's got all the gadgets, everything you want.
But I mean,
so we could sell some here.
A lot of the characters in Star Wars have got these sort of fatal flaws, I like to think. But, you know, the Queen Amidala's security officer, you know, he's got a patch over one eye. You know, if something attacks from this side, he's not going to see it coming. So, Boba Fett, villain or misunderstood?
Misunderstood.
Misunderstood.
Ooh.
Really? So he's not evil?
He's not evil.
No,
He's
no.
misunderstood. Something's happened between him and Han Solo. They flew the Millennium Falcon. This is what I believe, anyway. And something happened. They said, "I'll get you. We'll meet again." They were probably friends, but now it's when he says in the Sarlacc pit just before, it's Boba Fett. Where? What does that mean? He's seen Boba Fett before. Why does he have to say Boba Fett? Where? So there's a mystery there. There's something's happened between them.
Your thoughts on Celebration Europe? Has it been a good party?
It's been terrific.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
As always, it's too soon, too late, and it's gone. Goodbye. I'll try and phone. Gone.
It doesn't take long enough.
Finish.
So it's been a pleasure to have you, gentlemen. Thanks for making the trip out here, and hopefully we'll see you at another celebration.
So cool.
Thank you. From now. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Art.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Art.
That's so cool. So crazy, like just how many people went into, you know, creating Boba Fett and making him who he is. Hey, awesome. You having a good time? I'm having a great time. This is so fun.
Age at Celebration
Some
Europe
Dave
with
content.
Mr. Dave
Let's go.
Filoni, and it seems very appropriate, Dave, that we're surrounded by Ralph McQuarrie influenced stormtroopers from the 501st, which is very appropriate because you've just talked about Rebels, which is a Ralph McQuarrie influenced series, isn't it? Are we gonna see any of these guys in the series?
So this is, keep in mind, Rebels is in production, but it's not out yet because this is 2013. It's the year before it's out. I wonder if they played the first Rebels trailer here. Maybe, I don't know. But Rebels isn't out, so this is cool.
Not
This is
exactly these, not yet. But, you know, it's kind of on our to-do list and the bigger picture of the series. And I think all it really illustrates is how strongly fans around the world have connected to what Ralph did. I mean, these are designs that ultimately never ended up in the film. And yet
that's
here
so
they
cool,
are
Rusty.
alive and breathing and
That's sick,
walking
man.
around, breathing for the most part, walking around today. And you see this all over with Ralph's designs. They are as real a part of Star Wars, even the ones that never made it on screen, as anything that did exist on screen. So I feel lucky that we can take some of those and breathe life to them, new life in Rebels, and pass them on to a new generation of fans.
Now, I've been involved with 2 live action Star Wars movies. Unfortunately, didn't manage to get involved with doing a voice for the animated series. Is there any chance that perhaps we could work something out for Rebels?
I think so.
Early days, I know, but
I mean, it's very
He's
high
just
on my
shooting his
list.
shot.
It's very high on my list for Clone Wars, and my whole thing is to
Hey,
find
McMahon, how
the
you
right
doing?
character for you. You know, I wouldn't want to just bring you in to do a voice, and it was a thing. You know, on my list, David Tennant was another one, and I found that droid for David to play. And he wound up winning an Emmy for it.
Yeah, well, I wasn't high enough on the list then, obviously.
Well, there's
was I?
some
David
magic
Tennant
there.
was
It
above
wasn't
me.
quite right for you. It was,
You're trying to find the right character. I
I
appreciate
really
that.
believe that because I want to make it worth your time. You're a very busy man, and there's something that will be kinetic about it. and it's going to happen. I'm telling you. I'm totally serious, and I know you'll want to do it and you'll love it. And
I love it. I've never provided a voice for an animated character.
Really?
I haven't done
Have
yet.
a good one,
God.
man. Take care.
That's surprising.
It's certainly something I would enjoy doing.
I think it's going to be great. I could make you extremely tall.
You could do. We could do anything.
You could do anything.
Animation. Yeah.
And see, that's what I mean. It's like I think what I'm excited about is it would give you a chance to play something perhaps completely different for you.
It'd be liberating, wouldn't it, in that respect?
I think it's a pure.
I think you're right,
acting
Dennis.
in
I
that
think it
regard.
is
The voice
like
acting,
Kara's emblem.
You're just embodying the character in every way, and so we'll see. I haven't forgot.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Dave, and finally you revealed the new Rebels logo
Yes, I
today,
did.
which was really exciting and well received by the crowd.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I'm serious. A lot of thought goes into all these things. We just don't throw a logo together and throw it up on the screen. But there was a huge collaboration across the company. Every little pixel of that font was prodded and posed, and and I think it's brilliant. I think that it speaks to the era, and I think it speaks to the look of Ralph McQuarrie too, which is something that was very important to me for the logo, that it kind of represent Ralph.
Absolutely.
In some ways.
Well, we as fans certainly appreciate all the attention to detail and the thought that goes into it. Thank you very much, Dave Filoni.
I love that those guys are just standing there. That's so cool. So cool. Pre-Rebels, hey? Pre-Rebels. What's next? Ooh, Kathleen Kennedy. Interesting.
So here I am backstage at Celebration Europe with Kathleen Kennedy. We've just had an interview on stage. What does something like Celebration tell you about Star Wars now that you've experienced it?
It tells me the importance of the fans. The fans are everything to Star Wars, and I think, this is a celebration, literally, where you get to see their craft, you get to see their compassion, you get to see how important this is to them, and you also get a sense of the generations that have followed Star Wars, because entire families are here, which is really great.
Yeah, it is a very generational thing, isn't it, Star Wars? Because, of course, you've got dads who grew up watching it who want an excuse to continue to enjoy it, so then show their children and so on and so
moms.
forth. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, recently before this event, I actually watched all of the films again in order, and the whole family watched them. And my wife actually, who hasn't been a huge Star Wars fan in the past, got quite involved with the story when you watch it as a complete set of 6, and really did enjoy it very much. So it transcends generations and is very far-reaching.
Right.
Yeah. Now I know you can't say much about the work on episode 7, but just how are things going?
It's going fantastically well. I mean, JJ, we meet almost every single day. We've got Larry Kasdan, who had worked on Empire and Jedi as a writer. We have Michael Arndt writing, had previously been with Pixar doing Toy Story and won an Academy Award for Little Miss Sunshine. And we have Simon Kinberg. And I think the team that we've assembled, everybody gets along amazingly well.
That's interesting.
It's just
remember from the pool of Star Wars news is that Kinberg is on to do another trilogy. I think was that the news report? It was either one or a trilogy. Simon Kinberg, interesting, but he was on Force Awakens.
Now, tell us about the time that George asked you to take over. Were you expecting it, and did you say yes right away?
I wasn't expecting George to ask me anything like this, but I will say when he did bring it up, and he talked about his own retirement and looking for somebody to come in and really be responsible not only for the company but taking this into the future and protecting his legacy. And when he started to talk about it in that way, I immediately said yes. I just thought it would be an incredible experience and an amazing opportunity.
Fantastic. And in the meetings that you've had, about the development of the new films, has my name cropped up at all in the conversations?
Yeah, actually, it's daily.
Daily, really, in a good way. So okay, that's excellent. We'll leave it on that note. Thank you very much indeed, Kathleen Kennedy.
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you.
Interesting. How interesting is that? I've never seen that before. How wild. Before everything. For Rebels. Before sequels.
When the
audience member came up to do that, and they really do range in skills.
Oh, thank you. You made it a pleasure.
We had a good time.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. And you taught us how to draw as well. Doug drew a battle droid, and Ian, you taught us how to draw Darth Maul.
Which was quite interesting when the audience member came up to do that, and they really do range in skills, and he really didn't have any. So I thought, this is either going to work or completely
Yeah,
fail.
no, that was the brilliant thing. It
I was
totally
shocked.
worked.
Ah, there you
Both
go.
people who came up didn't have any drawing skills, and they drew. And it was like wonderful to see.
Yeah, but you know, even the failures are good sometimes, because that's where you start from, and then you just make it better after that. And very often you can take those ones and people go, oh, don't even want to show it, and you just put 2 or 3 lines on it, and it works.
Absolutely.
Knowing that's good.
Well, it was inspiring to watch you. What does it feel like for you guys after all these years to now be embarking on a journey back to that galaxy far, far away in working on the new films? And did you ever imagine it would happen?
Yeah, no, for me, it's such a treat. It comes full circle because I mean, I've been thinking Star Wars ever since I saw it when I was 15, and then having the opportunity to actually work on it was great. And then the films that I've done, since then, I've always imbued a little bit of Star Wars in me. I mean, into those films in terms of what I draw, because it's just naturally in me.
Absolutely. What about you, Ian?
Oh, they're like family. You know, you get very, very fond of the characters you create. And for Padme, I was there the day she was born. I was there when she died, and I got to do her funeral costume. You know, it's like you really are there with your kids growing up.
And I think the biggest thing, though, I mean, besides the actual work itself, is just having like Ian and the whole team back. It is like family on that level, because we're all artists in the industry. We all kind of grew up together, and to grab the gang back is just fantastic. We have a blast every day.
And it's almost psychic.
Yeah,
really
and that comes through in the work that you produce, I'm sure.
Yeah. We've done the psychic thing where I've been doing a drawing, and across the room, one of the other artists will go, "Hey, I've got this idea," and hold it up and going,
Yeah, exactly.
And it is literally the same drawing.
That's amazing. Now, thinking back to the prequels, I wanted you to talk a little bit about the work that you did on those. Doug, in particular, the work you did on Naboo.
Rebels released 2014.
Your inspirations.
Yeah, for Naboo, that was the biggest challenge for me, because George wanted to create a whole new culture within the Star Wars universe. And at that time, I ingrained in my mind, okay, what Star Wars should be. And it was what the world that Ralph and Joe created. And so to have George come in on the first day and say, no, put all that aside, let's just create something completely new, but still fits within the universe, it completely threw me, because I wasn't prepared for it. And I think that worked really wonderfully, because it took me out of my brain lock, because at first I had no idea what I was going to do. But then that allowed a fresh start, because then I could create a whole new world from scratch, knowing like George was going to guide it. And so I felt very comfortable with that, because his leadership was wonderful. I mean, he has such a fantastic vision in terms of, visual style and instinct. And so I knew that it gave me a level of comfort, so I could explore other worlds, other design aesthetics, and know that it was still going to fit within that. And so it was very liberating for me. And then my big task was then to really come up, okay, well, what should this culture be? And I took a lesson from George, which was to go back in history, study history, look at the different human cultures, and then extrapolate from that to create the world of Naboo. And when I realized that, it was really a revelation for me, because it really gave a foundation to all the designs. And that's one of the key things that I realized in designing for George in the Star Wars universe, is all the designs need a foundation, whether it's based on a certain human culture, a time, or whatever. You need something, because you can't just invent something out of thin air. If you do, the trap is that becomes out of date really quick, because you're just fabricating stuff. And so don't do that. And George's real key, the lesson that I learned from him, was take reality, mix it up, change 10%, and you have something fantastic.
So you always take inspiration from reality.
Yes, absolutely. Research is so critical.
Do have to balance that up with George. George doesn't come in with a vision. He doesn't say Darth Maul, he's got 7 horns, he's red, tri-black tattoos. He'll come up and say a name, Darth Maul, Sith Lord. Yeah. And then he'll walk away, and you're going, human, alien?
Yeah. How do you get in the right mindset to draw something like Darth Maul? Do you not drink coffee? What do you do? How do you get in the mindset to draw such a villain?
The first thing you do is you calm down. You don't panic by not having information, and realize that, I believe George cast his art department. He knows your work, and he cast you as being appropriate to that kind of character to draw for him. So he wants really make it up. He wants what you make up, because his real genius. And it is. I've never seen anything like this. He'll walk into a room with 100 drawings on the table. He'll go, that one, the head of this one, the body of that one, and it works. and you think one artist did it, and it just fits like puzzle pieces. It's like, how did he do that?
And I've seen him do that so many times where it's like, sometimes it's hard to figure out why the choices are and it doesn't quite make sense. But then in hindsight, you look at it and go, wow, okay, it makes complete sense why he was making those choices. And that's the one thing that I really got to appreciate from him, is that he can see it and put it all together quickly. I mean, as an audience as well as a storyteller.
That's brilliant. Well, I'm sure we're all looking very much forward to seeing the work that you do on the new films. It's been a pleasure.
Insane. That was so insightful. I loved that. Another big soupy from CG. Rebels genuinely surprised me. It looked so kiddie and campy at first glance, ended up being really good. Definitely exceeded expectations. We need more of that, more Clone Wars, and more of what worked. I totally agree with you. Which is why I'm hanging out for hopefully some more Star Wars animation announcements for this coming celebration. One of the other things to keep in mind, which came out, I think it was yesterday, that the Bad Batch Season 3 won a Saturn Award, which is crazy for Season 3, which is so cool. So cool. So they're good. Star Wars animation is killer. From Clone Wars to Rebels to Bad Batch, if that's where the juicy stuff is. But thank you so much for the big soupy, CG. Appreciate you, my friend. And yes, I totally agree, chat. Naboo is like one of the coolest aesthetic destinations, like cultures that they've done. And that was so cool hearing them talk about it and how they created it. Absolutely unreal. Unreal. Next one. What do we got?
Thank you very much, Doug.
Thank you.
What do we got? Ian McDiarmid. Yes, let's go.
McDiarmid, welcome, Ian.
Hi, Warwick. Nice to be here.
Very much. Yeah, we've had a great show out there. The audience
they were great.
I mean, you've got a lot of fans here.
Yes, many people and very responsive, and we had a few laughs. And,
his voice is so good.
Many questions wrong. I'm a very old emperor.
It's a lot of fun. It's amazing, isn't it, how popular villains are? They're always the characters that people seem to.
It's always been the case, hasn't it? And they're exciting to play. Have you played a few?
I played a few villains, and indeed, you seem to get the most response from people.
Yeah.
When you played a baddie.
Yes, people are really fascinated by the dark side. I suppose it's because they don't feel they have to go there if the rest of us are doing it for them.
No, absolutely. Now, we're celebrating the 30th anniversary of Return of the Jedi this year, a film that you featured in, obviously. Talk a little bit about the character and the creation of the characters, because that's the first time you played him.
Yes, it came out of the blue. I saw George one lunchtime, and when I got home, I heard that I got the part, but I didn't know what the part was because it was very secretive in those days. And then my agent said he's called the Emperor of the Universe. So I was sitting down at the time, so that was okay. And then I went in, and they covered me in latex and prosthetics, and this monster appeared in the mirror. And when I saw him, I thought he had borne no relation to me, but looked fantastic. And I thought he looked like an old toad, and so he should maybe sound like one. And that's where the voice came from.
The voice came from the look.
Yeah, that's how
it was. The iconic laugh as well.
Yes. All of that. I've just been doing it on stage, so I won't do it too much for you guys.
We'd love to hear a bit, I'm sure.
Would you? All
right. Just a little.
There are many variations.
It's amazing.
It's so good.
Really.
Yeah, I mean, it is so iconic. When you hear it, you just can't help but think of the Emperor. Now, also in Return of the Jedi were Ewoks.
Yes.
Now, who do you think would win in a fight between Wicket and the Emperor? What do you think would go on there?
Yes, well, I suppose I have to say that Wicket had particular skills, given the end result that we all know happened in the film. But I would have thought.
I don't know. I don't know if I can get that throaty though. Yeah, no, hang on. I'll practice with the mic off. Oh my god.
Thought that actually they'd sit down and have a chat,
Hey Corey, how you doing?
And maybe Wicket on a comfortable chair like this.
Try and negotiate.
And he would try and negotiate
before you got the lightning out.
Before I killed you.
Yeah, indeed, because that is your force.
It is, and as you know, somebody else got to use it in Attack of the Clones, and that was Christopher Lee. And I didn't know that till I went to see the film, and I was rather jealous.
Yeah, he's got lightning as well.
That's so good.
Right. Christopher said, "Oh yes, no, I would always have it." So,
That's so
and we
cool.
always would.
And how do you feel being part of the Star Wars films? What does that mean to you?
Well, it was extraordinary then, as I say, on that first day when I met George, and it's still extraordinary. What's most extraordinary was that I was able to be in the prequels as well as the initial films because my age worked out. And as originally they cast somebody who was closer to the aging Palpatine than I was, that wouldn't have worked out. I would have had to be in a different actor. So I was lucky twice.
Indeed, you were, and we're glad you were lucky to us because you've played a brilliant Emperor and Palpatine.
Well, I'm really glad. It's been a very big thing in my life.
Absolute pleasure to talk to you. Thank you very much.
And you
again.
were.
Love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So good. These interviews are fantastic, man. How much we got to go? No, we've only just got one more with Anthony Daniels. 7 minutes with Anthony Daniels. Let's get into it.
Golden hour. And it was a golden hour, wasn't it?
It was. It seemed longer. I don't know. I thought, when's this end?
It was slightly longer,
Yeah,
but you
was it?
were going on.
I was a bit.
But
you
I
let me
would say
do that. That was kind.
You were interesting, and we were enjoying it. So I felt the audience deserved to hear more.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you'd been interesting, it would have gone even longer.
Thank you very much. Now, Anthony, this year we celebrate the 30th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, which was the Star Wars film I think 3PO probably featured the most in, really. Out
And
of
more
all of them.
importantly, it was the one you featured.
And I was in it as well. And indeed, that brings me to my question. Do you have any memories of working on that film, in particular, working with yours truly?
I remember how difficult it was for me in the forest, because the floor in a forest isn't exactly flat.
No.
So it was full of twigs and vines and all that kind of things and roots. But I do remember it was difficult for me, but it was very difficult for you guys as well, because like me, you couldn't see.
No.
And I remember particularly with you, because there was an issue with the costumes, wasn't there? That the faces of the Ewoks were meant to be animated.
Well, they were meant to be.
They were meant to be, yeah. And they ran out of time. So the animation that you provided so brilliantly was, Warwick, can you stick your tongue out?
Yeah.
Can you think?
That's
That was
my
all you could do. I know it is. I was there when you did it. Yeah.
So good.
That's a famous tongue right there.
When you see it instantly, you become an
Wicked
Ewok.
Ewok's tongue I have in my mouth.
No, I recognise it.
Which
Can I
sounds
get
a
his
bit wrong,
autograph,
doesn't it?
maybe?
So weird.
But yeah, so it was very difficult for you working in those environments, whereas 3PO is more at home on a spacecraft.
Definitely, anything with flat floors, I love it. Anything with stairs, a bit of a no-no. Generally, Ewoks are difficult to work with, are charming, but difficult, because they can't see where they're going either. And it is a recipe for like a Dodgem car event where everyone, boom. And the thing about Ewoks is they're heavily padded. So when they do fall over, they just sort of bounce and roll. And I think you bounced and rolled several times.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the thing about it, and I suppose you found this as well, rehearsing without the head on was the important thing. So you memorized everything where it was.
Yeah, and you did depend on the professionalism of the particular Ewok to kind of remember what they'd done, because if they didn't, then they got bumped into.
By you.
Oh my gosh.
And
so
being
great
bumped
you can.
into by 3PO was a painful experience. But also, when, like me, when the Velcro opened up at the end of a scene, when the Ewoks were, as it were, how would you say?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Well, the steam that came out.
You mean not? Yes, I know. So when we were sort of undressed at the back,
exactly, the Velcro would rip apart,
all the
and
steam came out.
little pressure cookers, really, weren't they?
No, we suffered, but we all suffered, didn't we?
We
You
all
were
suffer
suffering
for
as well.
art. That's
Absolutely.
why art becomes so important, and it has
So
a
good.
magnetism, because inside there is a human. In every Ewok, there's a human.
Yeah.
Obviously, not the ones you buy in the store. I don't want people thinking they're going to get a free human with every Ewok. But generally, inside every 3PO, there is a human, very nice human, and in some of the Ewoks, the same.
What were your thoughts when you heard there were going to be more Star Wars movies? What did you think? I mean, it was something I thought was never going to happen.
Me too. I thought when George chose to just quieten his life down a bit, that would be it. It never occurred to me that there was a force bigger than George, and that was Disney. And in fact, I was on a boat, on a ship in the middle of Sydney Harbour in Australia. And there was one of those free newspapers, because I won't buy a newspaper, those free day sheets are fine. And there it was, lying on a bench, somebody held it aside, obviously in surprise, horror, whatever. And the front cover was Mickey Mouse with a lightsaber. And it was about the fact that Disney had taken on the mantle, the chalice, all that kind of thing, the challenge. And I was really, really surprised and very pleased, because it shouldn't have died at that point. You know, Star Wars is too big to fade away, and it never will. Do you realize in your lifetime, even in your lifetime, certainly in mine, it's not going to go away.
No, absolutely. It's a phenomenon, isn't it? It's now become part of popular culture.
Yes, and I will say that occasionally I meet people who are slightly snobby about it. When I was doing Star Wars in concert, I was doing a phone interview with, and he said, I am the classical music correspondent for the such and such paper, and I won't tell you what it was, but it's a big one. And I have been stuck with this interview, so we better begin. I so cleaned it. I explained in particular about the music, but also that films have become the patrons of the arts, whether it is music. And music has always been sponsored by the church, the crown, the whatever. Artists need to be paid. Somebody has to pay them. But also, Star Wars, look at the artists that create the most beautiful things, physically
That's
or
awesome,
digitally.
Lightning. Send photos in the Discord.
Without the films, our worlds would be much poorer. And anybody who doesn't realize how important the phrase popular culture, like the word fan, is likely to diminish something, but actually popular culture is hugely important. And Star Wars goes beyond. It is now part of our culture around the world, and that's the really amazing thing. And what surprises me here at Celebration is how many Russian guests that we have. And Russia's never really been open to Star Wars or many Western films, indeed. I'm really excited about that.
Very interesting.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's very exciting to hear there is a future to Star Wars, but it's lovely to be here to celebrate Star Wars that we already have as well.
Very much so. And it is odd to think that we did meet 30 years ago, and I hadn't put that together. And that I'm sure you found that the people you meet tell you the history of their going to the Star Wars films with their
absolutely
parents, whatever, and what's happened in their lives. But, you know, on stage, we talked about the crossing of the barrier from the screen across the stage into the audience, that suddenly we have a live experience as opposed to an edited film, which people enjoy. But you and I and the other cast members being here brings a kind of joyous familiarity to the whole thing. They kind of know us, and now they kind of know us a bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's been a pleasure getting to know you. I'm sure everyone out there has enjoyed it as well. Thank you very much, Anthony Daniels. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Warwick.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So good. So many great pieces of information in that. I think that's the last of the videos for Celebration Europe. I think that was the last one. But it's so cool getting to see all those actors there. Like, they're just so young as well. So interesting. So interesting. Well, what did you guys think of that? What was the best part of that, of those videos? Where's the music? Let's see if we get the music back in here. What was the best part of those videos? I love seeing Carrie's interview. Why am I out of focus? There we go. Hey, Star Wars guys, how you doing? How you doing? But like, yeah, it was interesting to see Anthony Daniels' reaction there to being saying, hey, what do you think about new Star Wars being made? That's very interesting. But yeah, I haven't seen that Carrie Fisher interview before, which was so cool. And Mike Hamill, so good. The Five Fetts. That sounds like, you know, forget the Jackson 5. We want the Five Fetts. I love it. I love it. I'm doing so good, man. Living the dream. That's so good. But yeah, like I said, we're going to be carrying on with these watch-throughs of each celebration's content throughout the weeks. Every Monday night, we're going to jump into a celebration rewind, which has just been so fun so far. And I feel like we're going to just learn so many just pieces of information about all these actors and what's going on. And like I said, like these earlier celebrations, there's not much video content, but definitely as we get further into the celebrations, we're getting like whole ass panels and everything we'll get to watch, which is super exciting. The Five Fetts is a frightening crime film. It sounds like it. It sounds like it, right? Absolutely. But that's so cool. Bit of cows for Carrie in person. She's the definition of Spitfire. She had such a fiery personality, didn't she? She was so interesting. Such an interesting character, well, person of a character. So good. Well, thanks so much for joining me tonight, gang. There is where we'll start to wrap it up for today. But thanks so much for stopping on by and watching these videos and interviews with me. I super duper appreciate it. Make sure you check out down below merch link. I don't talk about it enough, but to support me here at the channel, check out the RaeSide merch in the link down in the description. It helps a bunch. What's going on this week? Tony is out at MegaCon, so there's no Sith side this week, but I might be doing a live show just to cover him being away for this week. But for now, thanks so much for coming on by. You better go back and rewatch it because it's a lot of fun. But every Monday night, we'll be doing these celebration rewinds. Thanks so much for joining this one. And as you're out there in the world, make sure you always choose the RaeSide.